Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Life with Nicole, and I'm going to share with you guys today how to protect your summer loving crops such as watermelon, cucumbers, all of those plants that need 60-degree nights or warmer, or 70-degree days or warmer. Here in Zone 5A, Maine, USA, there are some few nights that we are getting. For an example, last night it went down to 43 degrees. So my watermelons and my cucumbers can't really handle that cold. They'll just die if I don't protect them. So here are some things that I do to protect my babies throughout the cold nights. And also too, keep in mind, whatever I'm about to show you, you want to make sure that you remove it by 7 a.m. It is 7 o'clock in the morning right now, and I'm out here to remove all this stuff. So that way, now that the sun's coming down, it could basically fry or cook your plants in this greenhouse that I am forming. So just make sure that you remove it the next morning before the sun gets too hot, because you don't want to fry your plants. Like I said, because you don't want to go through all this to try to keep them warm and keep them alive, only to oversleep the next morning and then fry them and kill them. So just make sure that you're on top of it. This is a fabric cloth shade, and you can use this to shade your plants when it's too hot in the summer, and then you can also use this to protect your plants from the cold in the spring. So I'm just taking off my garden stake so I can flip this over to show you guys these beautiful watermelon plants. Okay, so two things right away. So the first thing is the cloth. The cloth or a pot or some sort of greenhouse on top of your plants can give them at least 5 to 6 degrees warmer. Sometimes it could only be 3 or 4, just depends on the thickness of the stuff that you use. So for mine, for example, it's a pretty thick shade cloth that I have, so it's definitely going to give my plants about 5 degrees more. And then the second thing that I do for my watermelons and cucumbers are, I bought this on Johnny Seeds, and it's actually here in Maine, but everyone around our country and around the world orders from Johnny Seeds. And I got this, I think, for $15, and it is 100 feet by 40 feet, if I'm not mistaken. But what it is solar mulch. And it's just basically like a bag. It's just plastic bag. It's really nothing to it, really. It just looks like a bag. But it's so thick, and it's made to keep plants warm. So you can put a regular trash bag here, but it's not going to give the full effect of what this will be. So this solar mulch gives my plants an extra 10 degrees every single night. So when it was 43 degrees last night, with this mulch, it was actually 53. And then with my greenhouse, it made it to be 58. So last night, my watermelon plants were only dealing with 58 degrees instead of 43. Now, if you use a regular trash bag, you can give your plants maybe 3, 4, 5 degrees, but you're not going to give them this 10 degrees. This is the warmest protector mulch that you can buy out there. They have some that are 5 or 6 degrees, 8 degrees. This is 10 degrees, and that is obviously what we need here in Zone 5A, Maine, USA. So this is really cool. It was, I think, $15, and this roll, you see, I only use small pieces for one little area. So this roll will literally last me year after year after year. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, so it's solar mulch. I will put the link in the description. It's from Johnny Seeds, and this will definitely protect your babies and give them an extra 10 degrees. And then if you want to put a greenhouse effect on top of it, it will give it an extra 5 degrees. So to give these babies an extra 15 degrees at nighttime, I do these 2 steps. And I just leave this on here. Now, once it gets consistently 55 degrees or more at nighttime, or 70 or more during the day, I will take this off, because they don't need it. Once it's warm, it's warm. But for this early spring months, this is very, very handy dandy for our area. So I would recommend this to anyone that wants to grow some delicious watermelons and cucumbers earlier in the season instead of having to wait until the summertime, because cucumbers are very fast. They only take about 50 days depending on your variety that you're doing, but mine in particular only takes 48 days. But the watermelons, on the other hand, they take a little longer. So you want to try to get them started, and this is a great way to get started earlier in the season when it's still a little too cold, and your babies will be fine as long as you put this down and give them some sort of a greenhouse effect to protect their leaves. This is protecting their roots, and then the greenhouse effect protects the leaves. So it's giving it an overall 15-degree rise on our degrees. So it's just really cool, and I wanted to share with you guys because I believe that everyone should be growing watermelon and cucumbers right now, and everyone should understand and know what we can do to protect our plants to keep them warmer at night. So let's move on to a different greenhouse type of thing. So another example to use for a greenhouse, you can easily use a pot. This is just a hard pot. I just put that right over my tomato plant. Now, tomatoes and peppers, they can do fine 50 degrees or more in nighttime, so they're not as sensitive as the cucumbers and watermelons, but because it did go down to 43, I just put this on top of it to protect it, because like I said, tomatoes and peppers, they need 50-degree nights or more. So anything under 50, I protect my plants. But just a simple protecting. I don't have to go all crazy with the solar mulch like I do for the cucumber and watermelon. This is another example. I just used a little 1-gallon nursery pot, and I just put it right over my watermelon, and now that watermelon is safe. Now, I could have used the solar mulch, but I just didn't, and I didn't do this the whole time I've been growing this plant, and it's been out here for almost a week now. So I think it's fine. It looks fine. This thing is pretty handy and protecting the baby, so we'll see how it does. This is going to be my experiment watermelon. My other ones I'm protecting full on with solar mulch and greenhouse, but this watermelon plant I'm just doing greenhouse just to see the difference and what happens. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna take you over here to my cucumbers really fast. Just lift this up because I didn't want this video to be long, and it's already 8 minutes long. So this is my cucumbers, and you can see like it is so warm in here when I put my hand in, and these babies were only 58 degrees last night, and that is perfect for cucumbers and watermelons. And I'm just so happy that I've come up with a solution to grow cucumbers and watermelons earlier in the season and to protect my babies, because it's so cold here in zone 5A. Like we had some nights that were 56, and then all of a sudden we went back down to 43 last night, and I was like, panicking. So don't panic, don't frantic. There are ways to protect these babies, and that is solar mulch and shade cloth, or any sort of cloth, or a sheet, or a blanket, pots, empty pots that you have sitting around your house, even boxes, cardboard boxes. I use little cardboard boxes. It's the same exact effect. You just want to make sure that you come outside the next morning by 7:30 at the latest, before your sun gets really hot, and remove this, because you want to protect the babies. As long as you do that, your plants will thrive and they will do good. Over here is another example. This is just a pepper that I have growing, and I just put some stakes in there so the pot didn't fly away, and that's it. Now the plant is safe and good to go, and they are just so happy, and they appreciate it and love that you take the time to protect them at nighttime, because they really do hate cold weather. Even tomatoes and peppers, like, they need warmer weather. So you doing this will really make your plants happy and make them thrive and do better. And that's my fountain making that noise, because it's a solar fountain and you need to fill it up and clean it, so it's making some funny noises. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just remove all these things. I'm gonna be very, very, very careful because on tonight it goes down again to 44. So tonight I will have to protect these babies again. So tonight I'm gonna take my time and really, really shut it and really, really protect them, or be careful when I'm putting these on tomorrow. And then this is just a tomato accelerator, I think it's called, just this thing that you put on top. I just used that for extra warmth. There wasn't really any point to it. I just did it just for fun. And then right here, this is the last thing I want to show you. This is my watermelon plant. And this watermelon plant, 2 watermelon plants have solar mulch on them, and they had a greenhouse, which was a pot. So that's it. So these watermelon plants, when it went down to 43 degrees last night, they were actually all in all about 58 degrees. So now they are still thriving and they are growing like crazy, and they've been outside for about a week, so they're still very young and fragile. So that's why it's just very important to me to come out here and protect my plants every single night on these cold nights. And it will benefit me in the long run, and my plants will be happy and healthy and thriving and growing like crazy come the next couple weeks. Today I'm coming outside and feeding all my plants with a fish fertilizer, so they're gonna be loving it. Alright guys, I think that's enough for my morning rambling, morning tips, gardening tips. I hope that you guys learned something from this video, and I hope that you get inspired to grow some watermelon and cucumber in the earlier seasons, and I hope you guys get to growing. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching my video and supporting me. Until next time, bye you everyone. Bye you everyone. Bye bye everybody.